Prince Charles and Lord Rothschild in London, London, United Kingdom, November 21st. Prince Charles visits Somerset House in London to open the Hermitage rooms and attend an exhibition of treasures from Catherine the Great. Accompanying him is Lord Rothschild, Chairman of the Hermitage Development Trust. Camilla Somerset House. Camilla Parker Bowles attended the opening of the first exhibition, Treasures of Catherine the Great, at Somerset House in London. The exhibition featured art treasures from the Hermitage Museum in St Petersburg, Russia. Parker Bowles, the partner of Prince Charles, attended the official opening with the Prince. Charles Pointing, London, United Kingdom, November 21st. Prince Charles is looking at a portrait of Catherine the Great during a visit to the exhibition of her treasures. Catherine II Alexeyevna, Catherine the Great, née Sophie Augusta Frederica of Anhalt-Zerbst, Empress and autocrat of all the Russias. Niece of the Swedish King Adolf Frederick. Second cousin of the Prussian King Frederick the Great. Date and place of birth, May 2nd, 1729, house on Farnaya Street. One date and place of death, November 17, 1796, Winter Palace, Street. Petersburg. Children, Paul I, Alexei Grigorievich Bobrinsky, Anna Petrovna. Grandchildren, Alexander I, Nikolai I Pavlovich, Konstantin Pavlovich. More spouse, Peter III, married from 1745 to 1762. Cameos of Catherine the Great. Catherine II herself was a passionate collector, and one of the most important areas of her collecting were cameos. Real antique cameos. Just imagine. Catherine II's collection numbered more than 10,000 gems. Catherine was not the first Russian emperor to think about acquiring works of art. Peter I, for example, bought about 100 paintings at an auction in the Georg Giesel Gallery in Amsterdam in 1716. But it was Catherine who thought about forming a national art collection in a global sense, as was customary in European countries, where the collections of kings would later also form the basis of leading museums. Russian Emperor Peter III Fyodorovich. Catherine ascended the throne as a result of a palace coup against her husband, Peter III, who died soon after under uncertain circumstances. He may have been murdered. She ascended the throne following the precedent set by Catherine I, who succeeded her deceased husband Peter the Great in 1725. Catherine II Alexeyevna, Catherine the Great, His Serene Highness Prince, since 1772, Grigory Grigorievich Orlov, October 6, 1734, General Feldzeugmeister, favorite of Empress Catherine II. Grigory Alexandrovich Potemkin Tavrichesky, Russian statesman, creator of the Black Sea Fleet, September 30, 1739 to October 5, 1791. Potemkin commands all armed forces of the south of Russia. Potemkin founded the city of Nikolaev in honor of the patron saint of seafarers, St. Nicholas the Wonderworker. He takes the fortress of Kajibi, the future Odessa, and turns it into a prosperous city. He wages the most victorious Russo-Turkish War. Beginning in 1779, under the direct leadership of Potemkin, the famous Black Sea Fleet was built. Potemkin's second protégé, Admiral Ushakov, was one of the best naval commanders in the history of Russia. The fleet, built in just a few years, is subordinate to Potemkin personally. Potemkin even receives from the Empress the right to have his own personal naval flag. The construction of the fleet brings Russia to the level of a superpower 18th century. Potemkin does not simply annex Crimea to Russia, the Kherson region, the Nikolaev region. This is the territory that will be called Novorossiya. This is the Crimean Peninsula itself. This is the Kuban and the modern Krasnodar region. Russia owes all these territories to Potemkin. The secret husband of Catherine II remained in the memory of descendants as an ambiguous and, undoubtedly, extraordinary personality. Despite the fact that the gastronomic preferences of the field marshal were limited to cabbage stalks, carrots, radishes, cranberries, kvass, and similar simple dishes. The prince was a master at giving feasts and organizing all sorts of celebrations. Some dishes on the menu of his dinners struck the imagination with their names alone. Tartar-style veal tails. Beef eyes in morning wake-up sauce, Trojan pig. Catherine II, aka Catherine the Great, aka Sophie Frederick August, was on the Russian throne from 1762 to 1796. The Empress is known for her rather stormy personal life. She is credited with at least 12 lovers. Therefore, the debate about how many children she had still does not subside. Catherine's 3 children are generally recognized, and another child is almost recognized by historians. Let's talk about them first. Pavel Petrovich, Grand Duke, Emperor Paul I, 1754 to 1801. The legitimate son of Catherine and Peter III, the future Emperor Paul I. But his father, Peter III, was not completely sure of his paternity. His intimate life with Catherine did not work out. But Elizabeth recognized her grandson, so he was officially considered the son of the heir to the throne. And according to rumors, Pavel's father was Catherine's lover and favorite Sergei Saltykov. On the night of March 11 to 12, 1801, Emperor Paul I was killed in the Mikhailovsky castle as a result of a palace coup. Not having lived to be 47 years old and reigning for Alexei Bobrinsky, son of Catherine and Grigory Orlov. Orlov is one of the most influential and long-term favorites of Catherine, now Empress. There are versions that they had other children, but only Alexei is reliably known. The boy was raised in the family of Vasily Shkurin, Catherine's wardrobe master. His parents visited him. Alexei received a good education, was well provided for financially, but did not become great, like his parents. It is known that he maintained relations with Paul I, his brother on his mother's side. The opening of the monument to the founders of Odessa took place on May 19, 1900, and was timed to coincide with the 100th anniversary of the death of Alexander Suvorov. The monument was erected on Yekaterinskaya Square, which has the shape of a triangle. The 10-meter monument was a bronze figure of Catherine II. Erected on a granite pedestal, a round column on a 2-tiered pedestal. At the feet of the Empress lay the banner of the defeated enemy. In her right hand, Catherine held a rescript with the words proclaiming, "We command the port and city to be," and with her left hand she pointed to the site of the city's foundation. Around the pedestal were bronze sculptures of Grigory Potemkin, Joseph de Rebus, Platon Zubov, and Franz de Volin. The stone base of the entire composition was made with two semicircular steps, which resembled a port embankment. Catherine II is a controversial historical figure who, by her actions, caused great harm to Ukrainian statehood and culture. The very fact of installing this monument was a terrible mistake, and every day of its further existence signals that Odessa is in the zone of Russian cultural influence. It is time to change this. Catherine II, by her actions, caused great harm to Ukrainian statehood and culture. The very fact of installing this monument was a terrible mistake, and every day of its further existence signals that Odessa is in the zone of Russian cultural influence. The description of the petition says, Odessa City Council supported the dismantling of the monument to Catherine II. A monument to Empress Catherine II in Odessa was desecrated by vandals. They placed a red hat, which is often associated with the executioner, on the head of the statue, and tied a gallows to its arm. The monument was also covered in paint and obscene words were written on it. On December 29, 2022, under cover of night, sculptures and inscriptions with decor were cut off from the monument. The statues of Catherine, Count Platon Zubov, Franz de Volin, Jose de Rebus and Prince Grigory Potemkin Tavrichesky were taken to the Art Museum for safekeeping.
On April 19, 1783, the Empress Catherine II signed a manifesto about acceptance of the Crimean Peninsula, the islands of Taman, and all the Kuban side under the Russian power. Thus, the historic annexation of vast lands to Russia, including Crimea, and now constituting an invaluable treasure of our state.
What great historical events and famous personalities can Ukraine lay claim to its territory? All the cities of the south of Ukraine and Crimea have Greek names, so decided Ekaterina II. Ukraine will not be able to rename them. The great battle for Izmail, commanded by Alexander Suvorov, took the impregnable fortress. The Danube will flow back before they take this fortress, so said the Turkish commander. Alexander Vasilievich Suvorov was born November 13, 1730 to May 6, 1800. Among all the numerous military geniuses of Russia, Alexander Vasilievich Suvorov occupies a special place. This commander did not lose a single one of the 60 battles in which he commanded troops, glorifying the power of Russian weapons. In battles with Turkish troops in Crimea, Kutuzov lost an eye. The place of the battle is marked. Kutuzov Mikhail Ilarionovich Golenishchev Kutuzov was born September 5, 1745, St Petersburg, April 16, 1813, Russian military leader, statesman and diplomat. Field Marshal General from the Golenishchev Kutuzov family. Participant in the Russian-Turkish Wars, Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Army during the Patriotic War of 1812. Kazan. Vyatka and Lithuanian Governor-General, St. Petersburg and Kiev Military Governor. Student and comrade in arms of Alexander Suvorov.